What's up guys, Chase Oliver here, bringing you another video to my channel. Anyways, today guys, I'm going to be reviewing WWE Monday Night Raw, April 14th, 2014 edition. Let's get started with this one. We kicked off the show with a tribute to the Ultimate Warrior. Rest in peace, Ultimate Warrior. And I will talk about the Ultimate Warrior and how the WWE did tributing him here tonight. I didn't think the WWE did an excellent job tributing him tonight, and that's no disgrace to the Warrior. I loved the intro. The opening video package was beautiful. I felt it resembled everything the Warrior is as a person and as a wrestler. I just wish that they showed a little bit more clips of the Warrior's career, because the clips that they shown, well, a lot of us wrestling fans have seen those clips already, of him being Hogan at WrestleMania 6 and becoming the WWF champion, you know, and him being the honky-tonk man to win the Intercontinental Championship. I feel like there's a lot more you could have shown to show these fans, like, hey, this was the Ultimate Warrior. This was the Ultimate Warrior character. Maybe show a lot more promos from the Ultimate Warrior. Maybe do a little bit more with the Ultimate Warrior. I like how some superstars did show tribute to the Ultimate Warrior, like the Usos with the face paint, and they were wearing the Warrior t-shirts at the start of the show. You know, I just kind of wish there was a little bit more, how I could say, like, love for the Ultimate Warrior here. Now, I know the WWE Network is going to be having, like, a 4-part tribute to the Ultimate Warrior on the network, which is awesome to me, and WWE promoted that as well. That's awesome to me, but I just wish there was a little bit more clips shown, because the Ultimate Warrior, let me just say this, when I was getting into wrestling in the year 2000, I was getting into professional wrestling full-time. I asked my dad for old VHS tapes, and the 2 VHS tapes that he had from old WrestleManias were WrestleMania 6 and WrestleMania 7, and who do you think was the guy that I just looked at and said, oh, this guy's awesome? It was the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, Ultimate Warrior defeated Hulk Hogan in the main event of WrestleMania 6. When I was a little kid, my dad was a big Hulkamaniac, so I would be sitting on my dad's lap, and I would watch a lot of Hulk Hogan stuff. I never saw that Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior match until the year 2000, because my dad doesn't like when Hogan loses. I don't know why. You would have to ask him why he doesn't like when Hogan loses. But, you know, I never saw that match, so that was the first time seeing it. And here I am, like, just picture me as a little kid, you know, not really into wrestling, but I know who Hulk Hogan is, and I just see always Hulk Hogan doing this dude and that, and I see this guy named the Ultimate Warrior defeat him. I'm stunned. I'm like, whoa, someone defeated Hulk Hogan? And at that point, I thought Hulk Hogan was undefeated and everything, so I didn't know about the Andre the Giant stuff. I just felt Hulk Hogan was just this undefeated monster that no one could stop, and I see the Ultimate Warrior defeat him, and then I see Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man, one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. It's in my top 5 favorites. That's one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. I love the Warrior vs. Savage match, and especially now that I know the history behind that match, it makes me love it even more, especially the ending with Macho Man and Elizabeth. And the thing about larger than life, I think a lot of people don't really understand that term too well on the internet when it comes to wrestling. The Ultimate Warrior, I don't care if the year is 2040 or if the year is 1970. You show people the Ultimate Warrior, he can click with any generation. That's how I feel is how powerful the Ultimate Warrior is. That's the truth. It's sad what happened to him. I'm glad he got his moment in the sun. I'm glad he was able to go to the Hall of Fame, and I'm glad we got to see him cut a promo, and a great promo on Monday Night Raw last week. I'm glad we got to see that. And in all honesty, my thoughts and prayers out to the Ultimate Warrior's family, his wife and 2 lovely daughters. And you know, a lot of people are like, well, Chase, how come you're not really saddened or stunned by this? For me personally, and this is how I deal with a lot of deaths in my life, just to soften the blow, I always think that people up there in the great big blue sky, they'd rather see me happy. They'd rather see me smile and not cry too much for them. Because they didn't like to see me cry when they were living. They like to see me with a smile. And I feel the Ultimate Warrior, you know, you take that how you take it, but I feel the Ultimate Warrior would rather see me blast this theme music, run around the school halls doing this and shaking the ropes or pretending you're shaking the ropes and being happy. I think the Ultimate Warrior would want me to get that spirit going and act like the Ultimate Warrior for a day. So that's why I don't get too upset with death so much. That's just me. That's just how I'm wired. Every human being's wired differently. I love the Ultimate Warrior. Don't get me wrong. And I'm glad he got his moment in the sun. And rest in peace to the Ultimate Warrior. Anyways, guys, let's get started with this Raw review. We have some matches that I'm not really going to go into full detail about, because there's only 3 major plot points to talk about on this Raw. So let's get started. First off, Ryback will beat the Brotherhood, the Rhodes Dynasty. Okay, why? This makes no sense to me. Why are the Brotherhood still together? When are they going to make Cody Rhodes into a single star again? Next. Fandango and Layla, because Fandango broke up with Summer Rae. So all of a sudden now we're just going to put her with Layla. It makes sense. Layla is a former dancer for the Miami Heat, so I guess that makes sense. They defeat Emma and Santino. Next. All right. That's all the filler stuff for this Raw. Now we get on to the main stuff. First, the IC title tourney. I like this. I like this IC title tourney idea because it gives the mid-carders something to do. But when I was noticing the people in the IC tourney, 6 of those guys are former world champions. Now take out Mark Henry and RVD. 4 of those guys are relatively young superstars. Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, and Alberto Del Rio. And I don't know, is that a good thing that we have more main eventers or former main eventers in the IC title tourney? Or a bad thing that the WWE can't create new stars? I don't know, you put it how you put it, but I like the idea of the IC tourney. I just didn't really understand, like, if there's 6 former world champions, Sheamus and Mark and RVD, you can argue, well, I'm not Sheamus and RVD, Mark Henry and RVD, you can argue, hey, well, these guys are much more older, but the 4 younger world champions in that situation, it's just like, come on, really? Now they're back to the IC title scene? Now, when it comes down to the matches, RVD and Del Rio, if you saw one of the World Heavyweight title matches last fall, that's what they kind of put on, a shorter version of that. Really solid match. RVD ends up winning. I felt this made no sense that RVD won because why in the blue fuck are you going to have Alberto Del Rio defeat Big E, like, you know, I don't know, every single week and then not have him win this match? Maybe because ADR is already 1 foot out the door and so they're just saying, yeah, we're going to try to keep you happy, but at the same time, we don't really care if you leave. So maybe that's the situation with ADR. But Rob Van Dam moves on. Cesaro goes on and beats Mark Henry in a good fashion. I like that he used the neutralizer to win this match right here, showing off the big and powerful strength of Antonio Cesaro. So I really did like how they did with Cesaro, but I'm still questioning the Paul Heyman move because Paul Heyman was acting very heelish, and how is this helping Cesaro become a babyface? Jack Swagger and Sheamus was surprisingly good. I like how Swagger now has like this reversal to the ankle lock strategy. I really do. I thought this match was surprisingly good. Sheamus ended up winning because hashtag Breakfast Club rules, bitches. So of course Sheamus is going to win this match. Sheamus ends up getting the 1-2-3 after a bro quick, and now he's moving on forward. And then we have the best IC title tourney match of the night, as we had Bad News Barrett take on Dolph Ziggler, and a nice little match between these two. It took up a lot of time. This is definitely the match of the night you should go check out. Bad News Barrett gets the win here, and so he's moving on forward. So we have Bad News Barrett versus Sheamus next week on Raw, and we also have Cesaro versus RVD next week on Raw. I like this. This gets me excited to see what's going on next week on Raw. I already know 2 matches that are going on. Good work by the WWE here. Does it raise the prestige of the IC title a little bit that they're having a tourney? You can make that argument. I don't know if it fully raises the prestige back up for the belt, but you can definitely make the argument. I also liked how they used Paige here tonight. I mean, we saw Paige's regular finishing move last week on AJ Lee, but her match with Alicia Fox got a lot of time. It was a solid match between these 2 ladies. And not only that, we got to see Paige's Scorpion crosslock finisher. For people who have not watched NXT, that finisher is crazy. And now Raw audiences can see that. We established Paige not only has just a regular finishing move, but she also has a submission finishing move. They established her moveset here tonight. Great move by the WWE. Now, we had John Cena and Bray Wyatt stuff to deal with. Of course, Bray Wyatt came out and cut a really good promo. All of a sudden, John Cena comes out, and you know what that means. Full of bad jokes. Bad joke here, fat joke here, mom's jokes here, and that's just it. And I know a lot of people are upset about this, and let's just remember, John Cena is for the little children. He's for the little kiddies. The little kids think mom jokes and fat jokes are funny. That's just the bottom line when it comes down to the John Cena character. Yeah, it's corny, but it works for some of the little kids. And of course, Cena had to suck up to the Alabama nation and say, "Roll Tide," just to get the fans to cheer him. Notice how he didn't have to say War Eagle? Yeah, talking to you, Auburn fans. Talking to you. But Cena and Bray Wyatt's promo was pretty good, and I liked how Cena got serious at the end, and he was all like, "You know what, Bray? When I was serious on your ass, I beat you. And that's why, at Extreme Rules, I'm challenging you to a steel cage match." So we get a steel cage match between Bray Wyatt and Cena. It makes sense. I mean, this is the same shit Cena did with the Nexus. He made fun of them, challenged Wade Barrett to a steel cage match. Bray Wyatt most likely is going to win that steel cage match at Extreme Rules. Bray Wyatt loved the fact that Cena challenged him in the steel cage match. Said that they're playing with knives or they're catching knives. I thought that was a clever line by Wade Barrett here tonight. And We're going to get one match announced for Extreme Rules already with Bray Wyatt versus John Cena in the side of a steel cage. I like it. It's a rivalry that you could argue deserves a steel cage match. Will end the rivalry? No, it will not. This will go on until Bray Wyatt and John Cena have an I Quit match. Oh, you know it's coming. You know that is coming. So, moving on forward to the main stuff, the stuff that I love talking about. So Batista and Orton, they have a match with the Usos tonight. Triple H tries to remind them, hey, the Shield, they're after me, ugh. That means they're going to go after you guys, ugh. Orton, my boy, is just like, well, I want the title. Batista just wants the title, too. They don't give a crap about the Shield. They're not afraid of the Shield. They said, the Shield won't bug us. You're wrong, Triple H. Triple H told them ahead of time the Shield was going to attack them. So if you've been watching wrestling for a long time, you know the Shield is going to attack Batista and Orton. Batista and Orton had a match with the Usos. Out came the Shield. The Shield had one of the biggest reactions of the night when it came down to it, when they came out of nowhere, started to beat up on Batista and Orton. Batista and Orton, retreat, go backstage. Triple H goes, hey, I told you so. I told you the Shield was going to attack you. I told you. And so pretty much, you know it's setting up for Evolution versus the Shield. Yeah, this is not even the highlight of the night. So it's announced the Shield is going to face off against question mark. And so out comes the Shield, and then now all of a sudden Del Rio comes out. Titus O'Neil, 3-man band, Ryback, Rusev, name any heel on the roster. They came out there. Bad News Barrett. All those heels were out there. 11 heels go on to take the Shield. Now what I thought should have happened was you have the Shield just come out already. You have the 11 guys come out and just beat up the Shield. You don't even have a match. But they had a match for a little bit. It ended in a no contest. It ended definitely in a no contest type of way. The Shield get the upper hand on these 11 guys, start beating them off. The 11 guys start to get the upper hand. It makes sense. There's 11 guys against 3. And then all of a sudden, Evolution is a mystery. Oh, you do not know how much ejaculation came out when I heard Evolution's theme. Right? And I know a lot of people are like, why are you happy Evolution's back? If you can be happy that Cesaro teamed up with Paul Heyman, I can be happy that Evolution is back in the WWE. This is one of my markout moments here. Oh, I loved seeing Evolution come out to the theme and just seeing Triple H, Batista, and Orton walk down that ramp together again. Hearing that theme blare in the background, it took me back to 2003 and 2004. Ooh, what a great heel faction Evolution was. And when they slide down to the ring, all the other 11 jobbers left the ring because they knew who they were dealing with. They knew they were dealing with Evolution. And Evolution just beats the shit out of the Shield. And everyone's probably like, oh, they buried the Shield. No, they didn't bury the Shield. This is how heels are supposed to act towards faces. It's good when the heels get the upper hand, builds adversity for the faces. This is why some John Cena feuds suck, because the heels never get the upper hand. Here, the heels get the upper hand. They Batista bomb RKO Seth Rollins. They Batista bomb Dean Ambrose. They're Batista bombing RKO Ambrose. They're doing everything just to destroy. This felt like a vintage Evolution beatdown that we used to get back in the day. And then afterwards, we had it where Triple H goes down to Roman Reigns, grabs the microphone, and says, believe in Evolution. Ugh. I loved it when he pedigreed Roman Reigns. The fans were chanting, yes, yes, yes. And I'm saying, yes, yes, yes. Give us Evolution versus the Shield at freaking Extreme Rules. Give that to us. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, that means Daniel Bryan and Kane are going to feud because they're trying to make Kane into a monster again. It's a safe option for Daniel Bryan. I am going to be discussing this a little bit later on in a video that I'll make later on this week. Why Daniel Bryan is probably going to face Kane at Extreme Rules. I will make a video on that. But Evolution coming back was my markout moment and one of my highlights for 2014. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like me, subscribe down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Oh, by the way, Raw was good tonight. I thought it was a good episode. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below your thoughts on this episode of Monday Night Raw. You still have time to send in questions for my Q&A, and you can do that via inbox or tweeting me #Q&A on Twitter or #ChaseOliver on Twitter. So you still have time to send in the questions for the Q&A tomorrow. Anyways, guys, I am out of here. Check out my website, chillinwithchase.com, and Twitter and all the other social medias down below. Peace!